back to the Sunny Virgo. So today we have a very special video for Scorpio-Sagittarius Cusps. And if you're born between the 18th and 24th of November, then you are one. And we're going to talk about your traits. We're going to talk about your struggles. We're also going to talk about some tips and how to deal with those struggles, how to deal with being a cusp. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned. Don't forget to fill out the little form that I have in the description box below. It really does help for me to figure out more information about your cusp and to give you better tips and to help you out a little bit better. So if you have just a couple of minutes, it's really quick. The link is going to be down below for that survey. And don't forget to subscribe, to smash the like button, and to follow me on Instagram, okay? If you're interested in a private reading, the link is also going to be down below. So with that being said, let's get started. Starting off with your traits, you were called the Cusp of Revolution for a reason. You were ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, and Jupiter, the planet of expansion and ideas, luck, and everything. So you're incredibly powerful and you're incredibly inspiring. I feel like your ideas, especially, they have such a power to change the world, and I don't think that you realize that. I feel like you may consider your idea like, oh, it's just another thing. It's actually not just another thing. If you persevere in those ideas, if you persevere in the things that you believe in, you can actually change the world in a very big way. You are not afraid to dive deep into your emotions and deep into your beliefs and the things happening, and you're not afraid to speak up, especially when something is not right and something needs to be made right. You're not afraid to speak up, and that is a very good thing. One of the reasons why you're so powerful is that you're one of the most fearless leaders of the Zodiac. You have the excitement of Sag and that passion and that drive, but you also have the compassion and empathy of Scorpio, and you're not afraid to dive deep into your career, to dive deep into the things that you want to accomplish in your career. And you inspire that on others. You really inspire them to not give up. You inspire them to rely on their independence and their drive and ambition to accomplish things. You're so charismatic and you have such a strong attitude towards your career and really fearless attitude that people really get curious from you, and they really want to see what you're going to do next and what you're going to accomplish. What is your next big idea? And you can actually be a little bit intimidating, especially when we're talking about relationships. Keep in mind that here we're talking about any kind of relationship. Obviously, we're going to focus a little bit on love and your romantic relationships, but number one, you're an amazing friend. You're really, really funny. Moments with you are never boring, and people really love you for that. Also, you always try to bring this positive outlook into situations. Definitely that Sag energy. It's really important for you because you always try to keep an optimistic look on life, and you try to bring that on to people. And so whenever someone is feeling down, especially friends, you always try to be there and motivate them and excite them and hype them up, and they love you for it. You are super generous as well, and that actually can lead to you being a little bit being manipulated, being taken advantage of, and that can sometimes bring this little protection bubble around you. And so it's almost like people can see the Sag side, the really fun Sag side, if they behave, if they don't hurt you. But if they do hurt you, I feel like they're gonna see a very resentful Scorpio side out of you. And not necessarily that you like seek revenge, but I feel like you may forgive, but you don't forget at all. Again, you're super kind and you're super generous and you're always trying to help others. The reason why you may be intimidating in relationships is that you're also pretty wild. You're always like, you try to change things up, you want to spice things up, and that can be quite intimidating for people that don't deal with new things that well, for people that don't deal with change that well. But you're actually pretty romantic and sometimes a little possessive. But I mean, just a little balance, that's okay. When it comes to work relationships, you actually have an advantage against others, which is you're a really fast learner. You can learn anything like this. You are also a very good self-taught person, and so whenever you face something new, whenever you face something different, other people may be like, oh my god, what am I going to do about this? And you're like, oh, okay, so this is how it's done? Okay, I got it. And you just do it. And because of that, also because you're a little bit competitive, but because of all those things, you actually go really, really far in your career. You have that potential to go really, really far. So the key here is don't give up. Learn as much as you can. Keep going towards that ambition and that drive, and do not give up, because you are a really good leader and you have a really good potential in terms of success. Now let's get into the fun stuff. your struggles. So when it comes to your romantic relationships, it's important that you know what you deserve. Because like we said before, sometimes people can take advantage of you, and I feel like it's really hard for you to let them go. Even though you have that Scorpio-Pluto side of transformation, of death, of rebirth, of putting things to an end, I feel like you struggle with it because of your kind nature, your generous nature. You want to feel and believe that people have a good side and that they can change and everything. Sometimes they can't, or sometimes they can only change when you're not there. And so it's important that you keep in mind the things that you deserve, that you keep in mind the things that you want in your life, especially around relationships. What is your ideal partner? And don't settle for anything less than that. Another thing is that you should make sure that you have some sort of freedom in your relationships, that you have the ability to be yourself, to do whatever you want, to have a space where you're with yourself. Because sometimes you can get into this feeling of feeling stuck and feeling like, oh wait, this is too much, you know? And so I feel like it's really important that you have the freedom, but also the space for you to be in a loving, kind relationship with someone that truly deserves you. Be sure that you also communicate these needs with your partner. If you need a little bit more space, talk about it. It doesn't have to be in a very negative, heavy way. It could be something as simple as, I've been thinking and I feel like I need a little space for myself. I feel like I need a little bit more of this. I feel like I need a little bit more of that. And with that, I feel like things can flow in a very much natural way. When it comes to your career, one thing that would be very beneficial for you would be being self-employed, because it allows you to have that freedom. However, remember that you're not alone because you have all this drive and all this ambition, and I feel like you're really powerful alone. You are. But it can be good to have people to help you. And so I feel like sometimes you may create a huge distance from people, and you may lose on really good teamwork opportunities and partnership opportunities that actually help you get even further. And just like in relationships, it's important that you have an idea all the time of like, okay, if I'm going to get into a partnership, if I'm going to get into a team, this is the team I'm going to have. This is the type of people that I want in my team, with this mindset, with this sort of frame of mind and everything. And that will get like-minded people into your business, into your career. That can actually help you. And whenever you need help, ask for it. People are going to be there, especially from friends. People are going to be there for you, okay? They want to help. They want to support you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. When it comes to relationships overall, just keep in mind that sometimes your emotions can get really, really deep. So it's like, try to, feel your feelings and everything. Journal about it if you must, but try to be clear-minded about it. Try to be objective about it, and don't let your emotions cloud you, because sometimes that Scorpio can get really, really intense, even for yourself. And so it's important that you create an activity, that you create a space where your emotions are safe and you listen to them, but you also allow your mind to be part of the process, and you get this clear view of, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. You get that bigger picture. And so forgive others, learn to forgive yourself as well, learn to forgive others, and create space for love and understanding. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about is what I like to call in your neighbor. So you have two energies. Cusps are made of two energies, and sometimes they can get into conflict with one another. Sometimes one can be a little bit louder than the other, and it's important that you use the other energy to balance stuff out. So how do you do this? With Scorpio, for example, it can get sometimes a little bit aggressive, and it can get really intimidating, really like whoosh, intense. So when it comes to dealing with others, when you feel like, read the room. Scorpio is a water sign. You're pretty intuitive. Read the room. Feel the emotions of other people. Try to figure out, okay, what is happening here? How are they responding? And bring Sag along if you feel like you're being a little bit too intense. Self-awareness is also very important. But when you're being a little bit too intense and maybe a little bit aggressive, try to bring Sag and, be gentle, be fun, be quirky, and just bring them along, especially if this is about career. You are a great leader. That sometimes can be intimidating. So instead of doing everything on your own, instead of having that attitude of, you know what, you can't do this, I'm going to do it myself. You bring others along, inspire others, motivate others, try to push them to be their best, because you know you're best, and you know that you can achieve so much more. And sometimes people cannot see that in themselves, and they need a little bit of outside help. So with Sag, bring that outside help to them. Now, talking about Sag, one good thing of Scorpio is that you like to go deep into stuff, like detective, FBI kind of stuff. So, I'm not saying for you to stalk every person that you know or anything like that, but dive deep, contracts. Read the contract over and over and over again. Read the little small letters. Read everything, Do your business, because with Sag, it can get a little bit too fast. It can get really excited and it can fall in love with ideas. And sometimes ideas are good, but the way stuff is happening may not be that good. So it's important that you call in that Scorpio whenever you have like a big change, whenever you meet someone and you're getting that feeling of, okay, this may actually turn into something big. Whenever you have a new contract, a new business, a new project, whatever it is, bring that Scorpio along, and before you move anything further, you take your time with it. You breathe and you're like, okay, let's think about things. Let's see where this is going. Let's do a little digging here and see what we can find out, And that can actually save you a lot of trouble. Now, finally, one of the things that you want to incorporate is something where both energies can kind of entertain themselves with. So how do you do this? One of the things that I'm most excited about your cusp, which is spiritual abilities. You have the Scorpio side, which being a water sign, it's very, very intuitive, and having that death and rebirth and, 8th house energy of the hidden stuff. You can have really amazing spiritual abilities. And not only that, Sag is the ruler of philosophy, of spirituality in terms of spiritual beliefs and everything and mindsets. So that is the key for you to be such a powerful spiritual person. And this doesn't have to be that you have to be like a healer, that you have to, do tarot or heal other people. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could just be, for example, diving deep into your intuition. It could be on a personal practice of, for example, developing your clairs and connecting with your higher self, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spirit guides. That would really help you on your path, and that would really help you on getting this bigger picture that sometimes Scorpio can miss out on a little bit. Now, the second thing that you can do is actually meditation. And it doesn't have to be like sitting your ass in a chair, closing your eyes and focusing on your breathing kind of meditation. One type of meditation that I actually feel like would work really well for you would be movement meditation. You have the space of meditation for Scorpio to be able to dive deep into your feelings and your intuitive abilities, but also allows the Sag to cool the F down. And, it could be something as yoga as well, or Qigong, where you're teaching discipline to Sag, and you're creating the space for, Sag. It doesn't always have to be move. Sometimes we can slow down. And also, especially if you do it in a dark room, it makes the Scorpio feel at home. It makes the Scorpio feel at peace. Anything that you can do to connect with your body and your soul at the same time, it's really, really good. So try to invest a little bit of time in it. So this is what I have for you. I hope it helped. I hope it brought you some tips and it made you understand your cusp a little bit better and how to live with it. And definitely comment down below, like any suggestions that you have. For example, any self-care routines that you may have that really work for you. That would really help another Scorpio Sag. It also helps me in my research. And speaking of research, don't forget to fill out that little survey that I have in the description box. It does really help. And if it resonated, if it helped, don't forget to smash the like button and to subscribe if you haven't already. We do have tarot readings specifically for you, and you don't want to miss that because they're pretty good. They are. So, with that being said, I wish you the freakingest best. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. I'm not sure when this is going to be up. It also depends on when you're watching this. But I wish you the freaking best, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.